We'll record.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right, thank you. Sorry, Michelle.
Perfect. And can everyone see my screen? We're all good? Perfect. So, hi everyone. So, my name is Jessica Cherry, and I am the Marketing and Communications Coordinator for the Fair Finance Fund. And so, we are a social finance fund for Ontario's local food and farm sector. And so, what we do is we provide equitable and accessible capital to local food and farm entrepreneurs across the value chain. So we support producers, processors, but as well as markets, so restaurants, retailers, breweries, distilleries, so everyone across the value chain. But what we're really focused on is supporting very values aligned entrepreneurs. So those individuals that are very focused on bringing economic as well as social and environmental benefits to Ontario communities. And so, how we're able to support local food and farm entrepreneurs is through loans. So we offer loans from 20,000 up to 200,000. So those loans are 5-year terms, and there's no fees, as well as we offer a 3-month grace period. And so, something else that is quite unique about our fund is that we also provide up to 10 hours of mentorship. So, during that 5-year loan term, if you're experiencing challenges or barriers within your food or farm business, or you're looking for opportunities, we actually provide up to 10 hours of mentorship. So, we have a pool of experts in the field that are actively involved within the local food and farm sector that we're able to pair you with during the loan process. And so some other items that we do to support Ontario's local food and farm businesses is we also really raise awareness of the social finance fund model, as well as local food issues that are happening kind of within our sector, as well as we offer financial literacy and skill development to really help our clients, but as well as the sector to improve those skills and expertise. And so, as I mentioned, we are very purpose driven. And so, our loan clients, what's quite incredible too, is that we're always tracking their impact. So, as a loan client, you also every year you submit your impact indicators. So, what we're able to do is track your economic impact, but also your social and environmental impact. So, with that economic impact, we're tracking your local food sales, how many local suppliers that you're supporting, as well as how many jobs you're creating and maintaining because of that loan. But then we also look at qualitative metrics, so the social and environmental impact that you're having in the community. So some farmers are really tracking their environmental impacts. So we have some individuals that are tracking their soil health, or we have some retailers that are tracking how much packaging that they're using that is environmentally friendly. We have breweries that are tracking their waste management. And so what we're able to do at the fund is we're able to pull those impact metrics, and we're actually able to put them into an impact report to show how we're actually building a better food future by investing in these projects. And so to date, we have actually dispersed 43 loans, and then we've been able to recirculate 3.6 million in loans into the local food and farm sector in Ontario. We've been able to have a total of 3.9 million in total capital AUM. We've supported 28% BIPOC entrepreneurs, as well as 50% women entrepreneurs, and then 80% prioritize organic and ecological methods. And then 100% have implemented climate resilient practices. And then also, we continue to see the growth and demand in that. And so, how we're actually able to provide loans to the sector is through impact investing. So, what ends up happening is we actually offer community bonds. So, we have 5,000 and 50,000 community bonds that are offered to individual as well as institutional investors. And so, what ends up happening is we have some local farmers or even just individuals in the community that are really valuing local food that end up investing in the fund. But then we also have institutions, so foundations, financial institutions that also are mission aligned and want to see not only entrepreneurs like yourselves who are on this call today, but just the whole sector thrive. And so we then take that money and then we disperse it out in loans. And so when we're tracking those impact metrics that I just spoke about, the previous slide is that we're also able to show this to our investors. So we're actually able to show the individual impact that you're having within your community as a social entrepreneur, as well as the collective impact that we're having as a fund, which our investors always look forward to every year. And so just a quick overview to investments by type. So this is what makes up our fund. So we have 19.6 grant funding, 26.9% is institutions, and then individual investors is 53.3%. And so right here, you can see where our loans have been placed across Ontario. And so we have 23.8% in Northern Ontario, where I am actually located in Sault Ste. Marie. Then we also have 9.5% in Southwestern Ontario. We have 42.9% in Eastern Ontario, 19% in Central and Greater Toronto area, and then 4.8% in Hamilton and Niagara. And as I mentioned, we support all local food and farm entrepreneurs across the value chain. So we've invested in co-ops, markets, apiaries, fisheries, breweries, restaurants, processors, and farms. And we are really big firm believers that we should be investing in the entire food sector. So we're also supporting that demand side as well as the production side of things. And I also included this. We think it's really important to recognize also available funders and lenders that are kind of within our space and values aligned. And so Kathy Bouchard, who's also on the call today, runs the the SNAP program, the Grant Through RAIN. So that is actually opening up on November 6th, but I'm sure Kathy will provide more information on that too in the chat. Maybe. There's also FedNor, NOHFC, Northern Grants. There's OMAFRA, Community Futures, PARO, Farm Credit Canada, Cooperators, and there's a few others listed. And one thing that we also aim to do, so if there's ever a point that you're dealing with kind of cost sharing programs similar to SNAP or others, and you're not able to access that capital up front, the Fair Finance Fund is also kind of able to come in to alleviate some of those barriers in accessing those granting and funding programs. And something that we're always, that is very important to us is also making sure that we're aware of gaps and opportunities within the sector. So increased and long-term attention to equity deserving groups, increased gender equity in lending, projects that build for true climate resilient solutions, increased food security and value chain coordination in remote communities, and then social finance fund, and the launch of new capital models to really support this. And so here's just a quick overview of our application process and kind of how it works with us. So essentially what we do is we always start with a preliminary application stage. And so that is available online on our website, but that just allows us to ensure that your values aligned with the fund and some of our objectives and kind of where we're moving towards in the local food and farm sector. And so once that preliminary application is filled out and submitted, it actually goes to our loan review committee. And something that's quite unique about our loan review committee too is we ensure that we really are bringing diverse perspectives as well as ensuring that they're actively involved within the local food and farm sector. I think we recognize that that really is important. Sometimes when we see like traditional lenders, sometimes they don't understand the model of local food and farm entrepreneurs, as well as that we're not just economic, we want to be seeing the social and environmental impact that you're having in your community, which is very, very important to us. And so the next thing is that once that goes to the loan review committee, it's then approved and you're ready to go on to that full application stage. And so once you get to that full application stage, we also do a site visit, a reference check, and then just follow up with questions. So if our loan review committee had a few questions that they wanted us to touch base with you on, we get that all sorted. And then we go, you go into the full application approval, and if that is approved, you then go on to dispersing the loan. And if it actually ends up being declined, maybe you're not ready, there's a few more things you need to get together. We also ensure that we're giving you some options and the resources that you need to be able to be successful long term. So we kind of make sure we do a detailed plan for you of some other options that are out there, as well as kind of what you'll need to work towards in order to be approved if it's just not able to be right now. And so, as I mentioned, the loan is dispersed and it doesn't really take long once you're approved too, which is great. And then
moving forward, what ends up happening is we just collect, like I said, your impact indicators on an annual basis, and that is quite quick. It's just a survey that you and then we, of course, repayment terms, and then just annual financial statements, and then you also access your mentorship up to 10 hours and our resource library and workshops that are happening. And just a quick overview too of full application materials. So this is not required for your preliminary application. This would just be required for your full application. And so we would just need your business plan, cash flow forecast, tax returns, quotes related to your loan purpose, character reference, proof of registered business, articles of incorporation, statement taxes are paid, signing officers, credit check, proof of insurance, and government remittances are paid. And so essentially, we work very hands-on with you too. Sometimes this gets quite overwhelming and it's a lot of information. So this is where our loan officer comes in and really works hands-on with you to try to get these materials. And I always recommend too for like social food and farm or social enterprises that it is really good to have these documents kind of on hand just when you are applying for grants and funding opportunities. And so here are some of our loan client stories that we're just going to so as I mentioned, we really highlight the financial need and then the impact that the loan is going to have during that 5-year term. So this is Lowlands Fire Food. So they are located in Oshawa, Ontario. And so essentially the fund really allowed Lowlands to purchase an additional food truck for events that they needed. And so over that 5-year loan term, we're actually able to create 10 new jobs, and then two jobs were expanded. We increased the locally sourced ingredients that they were able to purchase to put into their pizzas. And then we also increased revenue streams that now are contributing to the economic viability or vitality. And then here is a farmer in Coburg, Ontario, Meadow Farm. So they're a regenerative agriculture farm. And so we also invest in some of the farm inputs there. And so through that loan, they were able to create 1 new job and then 1 job expanded. We were able to really improve soil health and biodiversity on the farm through rotational grazing. We're increasing access to healthy and ecological raised meats within the region, as well as increasing ecological resilience within Ontario. And so this is just a quick overview of kind of our vision moving forward into the sector. So essentially every year we really strive to place 30 to 40 loans annually. We want to really hit 24 million additional revenues in Ontario's economy. We have a strong presence in Northern Ontario, and then $4 impact for every dollar invested, 1 new job per 20,000 in loans, and then of course a number of environmental and social benefits. And we could not do this work without our partners and funders. We would not be here today without them. It takes a lot of people to be able to make these models work within the region. So we just want to recognize all of our partners involved, including RAIN and LFFC that are on the call today. And then just contact information. So I'll put my personal email in the chat, but if you're looking to specifically apply for loans or just general inquiries, you can also contact loans at fairfinancefund.org, as well as any general inquiries at info@fairfinancefund.org. And then also you can find us on social media, as well as our website is fairfinancefund.org again. So thanks so much, and I'm looking forward to questions. So.
Well, thank you for that great presentation, Jessica. We'll do questions at the end so everybody gets the information, and then we respect people's lunch hour. So I think I know my alphabet, and I think the next presenter will be the LFFC.
That's right. Thank you so much. Let me pull up my slideshow. You can see and hear me okay? Awesome. Thank you. All right, so my name is Michelle. I'm the Southern Regional Coordinator for Local Food and Farm Co-ops. And our mission is to foster vibrant, sustainable, connected, and resilient local food systems. So a little bit about LFFC. We are a member-driven provincial network with several program areas. Our sort of active projects right now are value chain coordination and the Northern Foodways Development Network. Some previous projects are the co-op field schools, decolonizing food systems, and the social finance fund. Something that's pretty cool is the social finance fund actually turned into the fair finance fund, which we just heard about. So it's really awesome to hear about all of the work that they're doing as well. Some of the services that we offer our members are marketing and communication services, financial and bookkeeping services, and governance and development consulting. We have members across the entire province, and it's a really interesting, diverse group of members. So something that comes up a lot is if we only have members that are co-ops in the local food and farm sector, and that is not true. We have farm members, we have food hub members, we have food co-op members and farm co-op members, but you don't have to be a co-op to be a member. But if you're curious about co-ops and the co-op model, this is probably a good organization to help you with that. Some other notable partners and members are the Black Women's Professional Worker Co-op, and we're also partners with National Farmers Union Ontario. So we offer 3 different membership classes. So the first one is for food and farm co-ops or social enterprises. And this is for any sort of up and coming or established food or farm co-ops. And so some of the, I guess, responsibilities would be part of steering our strategic direction and stuff like that. But you also get a bunch of member benefits, which I will talk about in the next slide. The next tier is community stakeholders. So this is probably for more larger organizations or individuals who are involved or interested in cooperation as a tool for improving local food systems. And our other tier is for sector stakeholders, which are institutions and corporations who are investing time, expertise, and capital or resources into cooperation as a tool for improving our local food systems. So the service packages that we have that you could add on to our membership are our Grow package and Bloom package. The Grow package is $100 a year or $10 per month. You get access to our online network, the Pollinators of Change, and a toolbox library, and access to co-ops on your desktop. Here you also get 50% off of the OCA's program on board. So it's a lot more in-depth governance support for starting your co-op, and you get a discount as a member. The Bloom package is $200 per year, $19 a month. Here, in addition to access to Pollinators of Change and the co-ops on your desktop toolkit, you also get 2 consultations with a regional coordinator or sector experts. So LFFC offers a lot of startup support to, again, new and up and coming food and farm businesses. And some of the things that we've helped our members and previous organizations with in the past were needs assessments, capacity development, partner development, resource prospecting, event planning, and business and marketing plans. We have 2 online courses that are running right now. They did launch in November of 2022, and they're just wrapping up. And so the first one is our startup course. And this one is, again, geared more towards those in the food and farm sector that are just sort of starting out with their business, maybe don't have a business plan yet and want to kind of develop an idea. The growth stream is more geared towards already established food and farm businesses and enterprises, and is more geared towards like HR support. So we also have our Pollinators of Change online network. It's geared towards peer networking and cohorting. You have access to experts in the field, online course content. Here you could also post and promote any events or workshops that you have coming up, and some exclusive partnered programs. So here's our contact information. You can also follow us on social media and our website, but I believe Renee is going to share my personal email as well. I look forward to answering any questions later.
Yeah, we will give that at the end of the session if I can find that. So the next presenter, the presenting organization, will be the NFDN.
Okay, let me just get organized here. So you can see my shared screen okay? And volume is all right?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Loud and clear? Okay, awesome. Okay, so hello everyone. Thank you for having me here today and awesome presentations, Jessica and Michelle. So my name is Johanna Mercedes and I'm joining in from Timmins, Ontario today, representing the Northern Foodways Development Network, NFDN. I am one of our coordinators at NFDN and focus on Northeastern regional coordination. So who we are. The Northern Foodways Development Network is an initiative of the local food and farm cooperatives and the Ontario Cooperative Association. The network is a value chain coordination entity, and we use VCC for short when referring to value chain coordination. Our mission is to bring together social enterprises and community-focused organizations to build community-led and value-based food systems across Northern Ontario. So our efforts began in 2022 when Jennifer Esposito Springett and Kaylee Wright received Canadian Agricultural Partnership funding to examine gaps and challenges in Northern Ontario food systems and explore ways to create an understanding, alignment, and shared purpose around what is value chain coordination in Northern Ontario. Through that research, it was determined that there was a need to develop communication tools to build alignment, shared purpose, and understanding around VCC work, to facilitate place-based and peer-led training and learning to build capacity, meaningful relationships, and collective action around VCC, a need to foster collaborative approaches for us to come together from the ground up and top down to transform our regional food systems using VCC, and lastly, that transformative food systems need leaders who can cultivate strong, trusting, long-term symbiotic relationships with the individuals, organizations, and communities that they serve. The full report is called Bridges and Barriers in Northern Ontario, Exploring Food Value Chain Coordination, and this work has really shaped our approach and strategic direction to the NFDN network. And I will share this in the chat after my presentation. So value chain strategies aren't the status quo in our current food economy. Through VCC, we are moving from the business as usual economic structures towards collaborative, cooperative principles and systems that intentionally redistribute power to where it has historically been disproportionate. A Northern vision of a sustainable food system supports food and farming businesses that develop value-based and community-led food systems, where power is retained within the hands of Northern Ontario people, diversity of culture is respected, and the lands are nourished and valued. So we use value chain coordination as a development strategy to support small to mid agri-food and farm businesses, as well as niche markets across the north, including food systems connecting to tourism, forestry, waterways, and culture. Value chain coordination is a set of roles and activities that strengthen collaborative ties among businesses to add value to individuals, communities, and regional economies. VCC supports actors along the food value chain to foster linkages that optimize the flow of products, information, skills, resources, and relationships to bring greater social, environmental, and economic benefits. We do this work in two ways. We help facilitate connections among transactional actors along the chain, from producers to processors, distributors, retailers, grocers, restaurants, and more, to work collaboratively for combined value. And we also facilitate connections among support actors and transactional actors to connect them together with the resources that they need. For example, grants and funding, product development, reports and research, so that they can build successful value chains. So our VCC work is both for transactional and support actors. Through value chain coordination and creating value chains, we redistribute power, risk, and information and profit in a more equitable, fair, and inclusive way, where farmers and consumers are gaining benefits from the system as well, and not only those in the middle, such as manufacturers and retailers more traditional supply chains. So for example, to bring bread from conception to plate, all the input and output activities from wheat to flour to bread, value is added each step along the way. But beyond that, through VCC, collaborating between the miller, the baker, and the distributor brings greater benefits to communities than trying to do all these activities under one roof, and relieves pressure and burnout by working collaboratively, where each person can contribute based on their areas of expertise. As businesses and communities look to rebuild and diversify local food systems, evidence supports the value chain coordination and collaboration plays a key role in taking action and generating new ideas and building more functional and resilient systems. So these are our value chain coordination services. We host regional roundtables quarterly with the objective to give representation and voice to the diverse regions, people, and places of Northern Ontario, and also all spectrums of the food system value chain to participate, from our transactional supply chain actors, as well as our support agencies, such as nonprofits, researchers, and local governments and funders. Here we come together to learn and hear perspectives from one another on challenges, gaps, and opportunities for collaboration. Our goal is to come together to enhance the notion of community sufficiency rather than self-sufficiency within our regions, and really empower one another for more resilient food systems across the North. A key piece here is gaining an understanding of what is actually happening across the North and becoming aware of one another's projects and support systems. We then create opportunities for stakeholders to collaborate, exchange industry-specific insight, and collectively address challenges to enhance our overall supply chain efficiency within specific areas along the value chain. Local and regional food systems need more than just hard infrastructure, such as food hubs, trucks, and processing facilities. We have found that connecting local farmers to regional markets requires developing and facilitating networks in the form of soft infrastructure, such as relationships, knowledge, and information sharing, so that the hard infrastructure can be used more efficiently. So through the identified gaps, challenges, and opportunities, we build networks for individuals, businesses, and organizations who have sets of tailored and specific resources and expertise to come together with a common agenda of solving specific social problems and dive deeper into focus areas across the North. So some networks that we are building include school network, tourism network, food hub networks, restaurant networks, and distribution networks. We facilitate connections with values-aligned buyers and sellers along the value chain through market matchmaking. For example, connecting chefs and farmers, food processors and distributors, or farm educators to schools. We also do resource prospecting, where we provide hands-on guidance and support to identify key resources that you need from our network of experts. So this could include grants and funding, business technical assistance, access to local raw materials, or wholesale price list. We also advance social innovation in Northern Ontario food systems by developing and implementing strategies, projects, and programs that address regional challenges. We lead our own pilot projects and collaborate with regional partners on these projects, where we trial and test innovative solutions and strategies across the North. Some of our current pilot project themes include improving food literacy and skill development, promoting food waste management and recovery, building consumer awareness, and improving local food access and food security. We also provide education and training opportunities to expand knowledge and practice of VCC, understanding the terminologies, concepts, and roles of value chain coordination and coordinators. We recently hosted a value chain coordination learning series with Kitchen Sink Strategies from the United States, who provided mentorship on this work, some of which was referenced in today's presentation. And if you would like to learn more, we do have the replay available through our network's resource hub. So in summary, we are available to support your agri-food business through value chain coordination within Northern Ontario. We have an online network available for you to join. This is a space to strengthen the collective capacity of stakeholders contributing to the growth and development of small to mid-scale and niche markets across the region. Through our network, you gain access to a resource hub, focus network groups, ecosystem map, and business directory, as well as collective knowledge sharing and education tools. So I will share our membership application here as well if anyone is interested to join. To further connect, you can visit our website, northernfoodways.ca. Our email is info@northernfoodways.ca, and we are available on all social media platforms at Northern Foodways. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Johanna. I appreciate that. I'll just also flag in the chat, I put a PDF with all of our contact information and our programs. So the people here who are attending for information, you're welcome to download that and then contact us at your leisure, but we all want to hear from you. Your link, Johanna, could you just drop that in the chat as well, as people can't grab it from your PowerPoint? And look at us, we're on time. Look at that, 12:36. Okay, so Johanna, if you could just stop sharing so that I can pull up my presentation, and then we'll hopefully have a good chunk of time for Q&As. Okay. All right, hi everybody. Again, my name is Renée Gendron, and I'm the lead regional coordinator for Peril. It's doing strange things. What is that? You can see my screen?
Yeah.
Why would that do that? Yeah, a little bit better. Okay, there we go. We are Peril. Peril is Latin for I am ready. And I'm the lead regional coordinator for Peril. Now, the territory that I develop and that my team of 14 exceptional women support is everything south of North Bay. However, we are across Ontario and we are increasingly rolling out our programs across the country. So super exciting times for us here. We've been around for about 30 years, headquartered in Thunder Bay. I myself am just outside of Ottawa, and we've served over 26,000 clients since we started as an organization. In an overview, we help all women entrepreneurs from ideation all the way up to export, and we help women across all industries. We have supports for starting off entrepreneur courses where it's a self learn at your own pace in a virtual environment. Marketing, how to set your prices, where to physically set up shop, the sort of nuts and bolts of getting off to the right foot as an entrepreneur. Then once you're established, we have business coaching and business counseling sessions for you. Peril works to support and empower women, which means that we will never tell a woman participate in this program or do this right now, or you have 4 months to generate $50,000 in revenue, or we can't help you. So we let the woman lead the process, and we work at her pace, whatever pace that might be. We have business counseling, and we also have a small mentoring program where the mentoring is basically 1 or 2 hours of targeted key advice on one particular field, and then you come back to your business counselor. Unfortunately, we don't offer legal advice or legal mentoring or accounting mentoring, or taxes particularly. And I'll go into some of our programs a little bit more. So we do startups, everything from ideation to those first steps, to the first sales, to launching your first marketing campaign. Once you've got your feet under you, we have a lot of support to help you grow and scale. We take women-owned companies. We take women-owned companies with 50,000 in revenue, and we'll coach them up to $250,000 through the Jet Setter program. And once you've reached $250,000, we'll coach you up all the way up to $1 million and more through the Elevate program. So we really are here for that entire journey. We're always happy to connect you with other programs. We're always happy to support you in any way that we can to help you thrive. Here's something that's directly relevant for this audience. We have a new foodpreneur program, and this foodpreneur program is national. So we'll have foodpreneur women all throughout the country participating. It is a competitive process. You are welcome to to apply. We'll talk about business plans and marketing and product development, food safety, packaging, labels, the whole kind of messiness that you need to navigate in order to get your consumer packaged good onto a national grocery chain shelf. And we've got guest speakers, and it really is a stellar program. So just go to our website, and if you're not a client, enroll to be a client. If you don't know who your counselor is, just put my name as your business counselor, and then I'll reach out to you and I'll assign you the appropriate person. Okay, so that's exciting. So the Foodpreneur program, just keep an eye out for that. We have a WEOC loan. We are the sole mechanism in Ontario to access $50,000 or up to $50,000 of loan without collateral. So PARO and many other organizations lobbied the federal government very hard for over 10 years to be able to get more financing for women. So this particular loan is based entirely on the merit of your business plan. You can be a startup, or you can be in an expansion phase and you need working capital, or you need to buy new equipment, or you need to expand your reserves. This is one mechanism for you. And we help you develop your business plan, we help you polish it, and then we submit it to the lender, WEOC, W-E-O-C, and they will issue the loan. We also have another little bucket of money that I wanted to mention because it's super exciting. If you're an established company and you're looking to expand to a different geographic area, either through an export trade mission, which we do 2 a year, or if you're looking to buy new equipment to service a different region, we have a bucket of money of, depending where you are, of up to 50% of a $5,000 project. So the project can be more than a $5,000 cost. You might need to buy a new refrigerator that costs you $8,000, but we'll cover up to $2,500 of that. It's a simple application. You've got about 5-6 questions you need to ask, and then you fill out a business model canvas, and then after that, you submit it to us. Now, there is a deadline for this money. It would expire at the end of December. So if you have an ask for this, you think it might be a good fit, it has to be equipment, or it has to go to like a trade show to make connections in a different market, or if you want to go on a trade mission with us, because we do 2 trade missions a year, and Christine Monfries went with us last year, so she's a great testimonial that we do good work on that front. That money could be used towards a trade mission. You have my contact information in the PDF. Please reach out with your questions or in the Q&A session afterwards. Another interesting thing that we do are circles. And circles are groups of 4 to 7 women that self-select. So it's up to the women to decide who's going to be in their circle. The primary reason for a circle is solidarity and support. It can be quite lonely being an entrepreneur. It can be quite challenging trying to balance work, life, children, community work, etc., etc. And having a group of support is really important for that. A little bit of an added bonus is that stage 1 funding with the group is $500 loan and $500 grant. That's character-based lending. So if you're not familiar with financials, if you're not comfortable handling cash, or if perhaps you have poor credit rating for whatever reason, or a newcomer to the country and you don't have a credit history, this is character-based lending, and you would be able to access it. You would then have 9 months to repay the $500. And then if you needed a little bit more money, we would have stage 2 funding, which is $1,000 loan and $1,000 grant. We have monthly Circle Up meetings, and you're welcome to join right here. But one faster way for you to join a circle is that if you already know another woman, a business owner, who would like to be in this kind of networking support group, you then set out a mission that each of you then find an additional person. And already there, once you find that additional person, you've got a circle of trust. You already have 4 members to form your circle. You already know them, you like them, and you trust them. So you're not going to network, you're not going to be vulnerable, you're not going to really want to chat with people that you don't know, like, and trust. So that's the cornerstone of a circle. So I'll welcome your questions on that. And I mentioned a little bit about our business camps. We have another one that's opening in terms of candidates, in terms of people who want to participate. She scales up with technology. That one starts at the end of November. And that one is to help you understand what your technology needs are. And we help you design a strategy, like an actual rollout plan for you to implement your key technology. And then when do you need it? How is it going to work? What needs to be done first? And then we help you identify resources that you can tap into to either get grants or to reduce the cost of your technology. The Jet Setter program, like I mentioned, that one is for women-owned companies that have $50,000 in revenue, and we'll coach them up to over $250,000. And the Elevate is once you have $250,000 in revenue, and we'll help you get to $1 million. Just a little note for our summit: we are headquartered in Thunder Bay. However, we have a hybrid event. So if you're in Thunder Bay, you're welcome to participate live at our event. If you're unable to travel to Thunder Bay, this is a hybrid event, and you'll be able to understand. Gain a lot of information from our keynote about money mindset and ensuring that you're moving from scarcity to abundance. Every Wednesday we have webinars. We have some in French and we have some in English, and we also have pitch competitions once or twice a year, just to keep an eye out if you're in the startup phase. Right now the pitch competitions are going for Anglophone and Francophone, and they'll be finishing at the in mid-November, but we cycle through them. It's called Pitch Like a Pro, or Lancer comme un pro in French, and first place is $500 and second place is $250. Headquartered everywhere, a little bit across the province. Thunder Bay is our headquarters, and Ottawa is the Eastern Ontario, Southern Ontario office. And a kind word to our funders and supporters. So I think I did pretty good there. I think I was on 8 minutes, as promised. And we'll open it up to questions. If people aren't comfortable going on camera, I can stop the recording, and then we can take questions that way. You can just let me know in the chat, or a little thumbs up, or whatever, if people prefer that I stop the recording. Okay, so don't be shy. Then this is still being recorded. Does anybody have any questions for us?